Yes, welcome everyone here to the Smash Sports Show right here on Smash FM, here on our 10th year of the station. Of course, here on a Wednesday night in particular, of course, let's go our friends up in Queensland. Of course, we're heading to the Eastern Suburbs Football Club. Of course, they play in the Women's National Premier League up in Queensland. And of course, their season's about to get underway very soon, or actually, if it hasn't already started already. And we've got two very special guests joining us from the Mighty Tigers to tell us all about it. Thanks both for joining us.
Thank you. Hi.
I'll get both of you to introduce yourselves and tell us what position both of you be playing on the field when the season starts.
I'll go first. I'm SSS10THYR. I'm going to be playing right midfield / right forward. Yep.
I'm Maya Bruckner and I play striker, so 9.
Tell us a bit about the pre-season.
Pre-season. I think it's going well. We have a lot of new young people coming from the under 18s, and they got moved up. So, and Maya's one of them. And pre-season's going good. We're starting our first league game this weekend on Sunday. So, and I think we're ready.
Yeah, I think it's been really good. Like we've had a couple of good preseason matches, kind of just getting used to playing with each other, but I think we'll have a good, strong season.
How's the preparations like heading to the first game? And who are you versing, if you don't mind me asking?
We're playing Gold Coast United, so pretty tough game first up, but should be a good challenge.
I think we're preparing by I think our last time we played them in preseason, we didn't finish our opportunities. So we've done a lot of crossing and finishing and just like attacking movement so we can get those goals in this time.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah.
Now, Maya, you mentioned before, and of course, the team is playing against Gold Coast United, which won the Premiers, the minor premiership last season. A pretty tough assignment in round 1.
Yeah, it should be tough. But I think like since we've played them already in preseason, I think kind of we have a better idea of what they're like. And I think we can kind of push and really challenge them.
And what's the goals set for this team going into the season?
We want to win it all.
Definitely.
I think first off, we want to make the top 9 and then go from there and hopefully win it all this year.
Push for a top 4 final spot and then hopefully win that. Yeah.
Now I have to ask, is there one team in particular that you would love to beat the most?
I feel like there's so many new teams and new players on the team that there's no team in particular. Right now, I actually really want to beat the Gold Coast just because last game, I don't think it was a fair result. So I really want to beat them this time.
Yeah, and I think Lions as well, they're always like a really, really tough team to play against. They're really like strong, and I think it feels really good to beat one of the top teams like that.
Tell us a bit about this team, and I'm sure you've got some new players coming in this year. Tell us about the new players that are coming in that we should watch out for.
Maya is a new player. She came in from the under 18s. Also Holly, she came in the under 18s. Both of them, I think, are going to do really well this year. Also, I think Kelsey, she's going to be playing on the left wing. She has a killer shot, so I think we should watch out for her as well.
Yeah. Aiko as well. We just brought her in. She's from Japan, and she's, I think, a really strong, really technical player. So she'll really bring like a good, strong, new like place in the midfield for us.
Now, you just mentioned about that international player who, of course, we're meant to have on the show. I guess how's it been like to have her at the club, and especially I'm assuming there's been a little bit of it, like at least some sort of language barrier as well that you've had to sort of overcome?
Yeah, well, I think they bring a lot of, both Aiko and Kaho, both Japanese, they bring a lot of a lot of good insight. Like I think they're really, really great to have because I've learned so much from them. They really like to like kind of take me aside and give me advice. And I think it's just really useful to kind of have a different perspective on things.
I mean, I played with Kaho in Japan, so I kind of understand what it feels like to not know a language. So I think the team does a really good job of, if they don't understand a drill, all of us try to explain it to them. And also, we have another player, Arena, who speaks Japanese and English, so she translates a lot for them and helps out a lot.
Now I have to ask, tell us a bit about your coach.
Cool. Why, you want to take it over?
I think he's been good. I think progressing from the under 18s, he's been really, really good at kind of supporting me and helping me kind of get used to the environment. And I've definitely learned a lot. So yeah, I think he's good, and I think he'll take us far, hopefully this season.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I mean, it's really nice to have an English speaking coach. Before here, I was always on different teams with not an English speaking coach. So it's really nice to be able to talk to my coach. And I think we have 2 assistants, one new one that came in, and it's nice to have like a group of coaches now to be able to go to.
Yeah.
Maya, I have to ask you this question. Of course, making the big jump from the 18s to the senior team, they're in the NPL. What's the 1 or 2 things have you noticed from the jump?
I think one of the main things is just like the intensity, the speed of play. Like it's a lot more intense. Like whenever you get the ball, you have a lot more people on you, a lot faster. Everyone's much stronger and much bigger. So you kind of have to adapt to like playing with that speed, moving the ball a lot faster, which has been a little bit of an adjustment. But yeah, I think I'll get there hopefully.
And for both of you, how special is to play with each other on the same team?
I think it's great. Since I'm a striker, it's really good to have a really fast winger like Tessa. I think she delivers really great balls into the box, which I really love because I like to header and kind of get onto the end of those. So I think it's really good to play with someone. And Tessa has obviously a lot of international experience, which is like really, really cool and really good to play with. Yeah.
Yeah, I love playing with Maya. I mean, I feel like since I'm an older player, I feel like all the younger players bring a lot of energy, and they make me like want to run more and work harder because you guys have fresher legs than me. So I enjoy playing with Maya. Yeah.
Now, Tessa, I have to ask you, you mentioned before that you play with other teams that have obviously different speaking coaches, different language, all that sort of things. And you mentioned before that it's good to have an English speaking coach. I guess, what have you learned from like the other coaches that you've had in the past that don't speak English, and sort of how do you adapt to those sort of things?
I think each country has a different style of play. So in Japan, I think I learned to be more technical. I learned to focus on that aspect. And I feel like I learned that small words make a big difference. So you can understand, like, work hard, you can understand, pass the ball faster. So I learned actually communicating, coming back to an English speaking country, you don't have to make it complicated, you can make it simple.
This question, which is, how did both of you get involved in the world game, and why did you choose it?
Well, for me, I actually lived in the Philippines when I was younger, and that's kind of where I picked it up. So like there was just like a local girl team, and I played on it because I've kind of always been like involved in it. Like my dad was always a big fan, and I kind of just always used to like love kicking the ball with him in the backyard. And once I started the first game I played, I just like didn't look back. It's always been my main sport and kind of like the thing I've been focusing on, yeah, in my life.
Yeah. Similar to me, I'm originally from America, so I started playing when I was 5. My mom made me try every sport, and I hated all the other sports and just love soccer.
What will be some highlights throughout both your world game journey so far?
I went to the World Youth Cup called the Gothia Cup a couple years back. I
Really?
think it was when I
You?
yeah. Did you? I never
Yeah,
knew
a
that.
long time ago.
Yeah, when I lived in Malaysia, and that was like an insane experience because we had like the opening ceremony and we got to kind of carry the flags and walk around like a packed stadium, and that was like a really, really cool experience, like something I'd never really expect to be a part of. Yeah, that was pretty cool.
I've just loved looking, like being in different countries. Like soccer has taken me to so many different countries, and just learning so many different like languages and cultures, and soccer's brought me everything in my life. So highlights, probably playing professionally in Japan was my first year was one of the best experiences of my life.
Now, I can feel there was a connection in that response that Maya had as one of her highlights. Now, both you mentioned about both you played in this tournament just a moment ago. What was both your feel about playing in that tournament, and tell us, I guess, both your experiences in it?
Well, I think when I lived in Malaysia, it was the football quality wasn't great, and so like I just played in like a little team, like with like a couple of the girls around me who were really strong, and we got this opportunity to go to Sweden for this tournament, and it was like, for me, like it was never really anything like I'd ever done. I just didn't really expect that we could get these kind of opportunities living in Malaysia, but it was really, really good to experience playing against just people from all over the world and just kind of like seeing all the different standards and all the different levels. And for me, I thought that was just so cool, like coming from just a smaller, not very popular football like kind of place like Malaysia.
Yeah, I feel like it was similar to me. I remember when we won and they told us like we were going to Sweden for the Gothia Cup. I was just so excited to just, go to a different country. It was when you're like 15. And then I think playing in like big stadiums and seeing people like come out and watch you that don't even know you, I think is amazing, because in America, I mean, soccer is a big sport, but not as big as some other sports. So I thought it was really cool. In Europe, it's so big there and they like appreciate it so much.
Yeah.
So that was really
yeah, it gave me like a little taste into kind of what it was like to maybe be a professional and have all these people watching you and like be a part of like a massive tournament like that.
You mentioned before, Tessa, that obviously you started playing the world game when you were in the States. Play the world game in college?
Oh yeah, I played at University of Florida.
And tell us about your college experience there.
Oh, it was amazing. I loved being a Gator. Go Gators. It was just, compared to like other countries, I feel like college soccer is the best in America. It's just so much fun. It's really competitive, and it enabled me to go play in other countries because it is full on like being an athlete and a student, but just one of the best times of my life. Is so fun.
And was there a particular game that was a standout throughout your college journey?
Probably winning the SEC championship. We won it 3 out of the 4 years I was there. So every time we won it, it was awesome. And then going to the SEC tournament and staying in like a really nice hotel and winning that. Those are probably the best. Yeah.
Now, have you convinced? Oh, don't worry, Maya. I'll get to you in just a moment about,
That's all right.
something similar to this. But Tessa, have you convinced any of your former college teammates to maybe play down here?
In Australia?
Yeah.
Oh, all of them want to. A lot of them contact me, and I always tell them, yeah, come down. Actually, one of them wanted to come down last year, but obviously right now because of COVID, nobody really can come in. But a lot of people want to come to Australia because obviously there's no language barrier and everybody sees how fun it is for me. So they all want to come.
Now, Maya, I have to ask you this question. Now, obviously, after I've answered, asked Tess a lot of the questions about her college experience, is that something you want to do eventually?
Oh, I think playing just professionally anywhere would be just an amazing experience. Like I'd love to go overseas if possible, really in Asia or in Europe especially would be amazing. But I think right now I'm just kind of focusing on developing here and just seeing where that can take me. But that would be amazing, yeah.
Now, you do have one or two your under-18s teammates joining you this year, Maya, in the Opens team. How special is that? And tell us a bit about, I guess, the friendships and I guess the, playing partnerships that you've had with your 2 or 3 players that you've got in your team that came with you from the under-18s.
Yeah, I think it's really good to kind of have a bit of a support network coming up, because when I first started training up with the senior team, I was really nervous and I was like, oh, this is a bit of a step up. But I think it's really nice to kind of have the support of the girls. Yeah, because I've definitely developed a lot of friendships. Like we spend a lot of time together at all our trainings and all our games. So yeah, and especially we won the premiership last year in the under-18. So I think that really, really kind of brought us together and really, really is good for us to kind of take the next step up and work with each other again and hopefully do the same in this team.
All right, we'll get to the championship question then, which both you mentioned that you both have won a championship somewhere along the line throughout both your football journeys. Now, Maya, I will start off with you first. You mentioned about your recent one last year. Tell us a bit about the season and what made that team so unique.
Well, I think it was a really tough season with COVID. We didn't have the best start to the season. It was kind of, we had a couple tough games, but after the break, I think we all kind of realized that we wanted to kind of fight and really push hard. So we won a lot of our like really intense games against the tough teams. And I think we had really good team cohesion. Like we had a great coach. We just all worked really well together and we just pretty much had a really consistent season. Like it was just hard to see us kind of not win. So it was really good. We all worked so hard for each other, and like to finally win that premiership, we were just really, really excited.
Was there a particular moment in the season that you felt, wow, we've actually got this premiership?
I think there was a game against the Gold Coast. Every time we played the Gold Coast, it's always been super tough, and we knew that this was kind of one of our like most crucial games. If we won that, then we'd really be like clear on top, and we just played one of the best matches we'd ever played. It was a really hot game, but we just fought so hard, and we won that game pretty easily, and we were just so happy, and we knew it was kind of all worth it in the end. Yeah.
Obviously with COVID, I don't know, did you end up receiving like some sort of trophy or medals at all for winning the competition?
Yeah, we had like a little small medal ceremony at the end after all our games were finished, which was nice.
How long did you wear your medals around your necks for?
Not long enough. It was just a really small kind of thing at the end of our last game of the season. So I kind of just had to go home after that. It would have been nice to kind of parade around, but we couldn't really do that.
Did you sleep with it?
No, maybe next time. This year, if we win, I will.
Now, Tessa, I need to ask you about your 3 college championships. Out of those 3, which one is more special?
Probably my senior year one, just because I was there, 4 years. So my senior year one, when we did it, I was like, yes, like at least I'm leaving winning, a winner, I guess.
What made that team so special for you in your senior year?
I think we had a lot of senior players, so it was nice to play with people for 4 years, and we had a lot of leaders. So we had a team that we went through. Most of our starting 11 were senior players. So it felt like we knew each other. We were really good friends off the field. And all of us were becoming adults. So it was really nice.
Now, was there one particular game in that season that you felt we can actually go all the way and win it all?
I don't think there's a particular game. It was a long time. I am old, so it was a long time ago. But I would say in the beginning of the year, we were like, we're gonna win it. Like we just decided, like us leaders, like that was our goal and we were gonna do it. So I don't remember a particular game. I just knew like we would do it in the beginning of the year because our mentality was there. All of us were on the same page.
Now, I rarely ask this question, but I'm going to ask this to you, Tess. Out of those 3 championships that you've won, is there, I know you don't want to single anyone out in your team that year, those 3 years that you won it, but do you have like a favorite 5 players that you played with?
Oh yeah. I mean, yeah, I have favorite players that I played with. Yeah, one of them is Havana Salone. She plays in the American Pro League. She also plays for a Jamaican national team. And she's just, if you watch me play, I'm a very, I don't know how to put it in a nice way. I'm like a psychopath. Like I'm running everywhere. I'm trying to like get the ball. And it was nice to play with someone who's just like calm and technically skilled. So she was one of my favorite players to play with because she calmed me down and I hyped her up. So yeah, I miss playing with her. Probably another one was Savannah Jordan. She played in the pro league for a while. She also was on the full national team for a while. She's not playing anymore, but she was just a great striker. Like I could always find her head. Yeah, those two were my favorite probably.
And do you miss Florida Gators? Considering now you're on the other side of the sunshine part of the country.
Yeah, I do. I miss Florida. I haven't been back there since college. My coach is actually retiring, so I'm sad that I haven't gone back. But I always felt like I never wanted to like look back and say, "Oh, those were the best years of my life." I feel like every year should be the best year of your life. So I loved it, but I still like moved on and just have loved traveling and being in different countries and having new experiences.
Now, for both of you, what does the sport of the world game mean to both of you, and especially being there at Eastern Suburbs?
Soccer has like created my whole life. So it's nice to see like hard work pay off. Like I feel like I always tried to really work hard because I knew like I wanted to be a professional athlete. So it's brought me to different countries. It's brought me to the best friends I've ever had. And being in Australia, it means the world to me, especially after COVID. It was the best place I could be. I think Australia is a lot like America, but then it's a lot different in some ways. And I think it's very community oriented and people really like took care of me here. So I really appreciated that. And also Eastern Suburbs is the one club after traveling that I've seen actually promote women's soccer. So that's why I stayed with them this year because I think Trish and Dennis, the people, the sponsors of the club, they really like value women's soccer, which was amazing to me to see.
Yeah, I mean, it's always been kind of like a center of my life, like since the start. It's always kind of just been something I've always just loved. Like it's kind of taught me a lot of like work ethic because I've always had to kind of juggle it along with like school and a lot of different commitments. But I've just made so many friendships from it and I just love it so much. And East as well, it's like first NPL club here and I just felt so like comforted as soon as I came here. Everyone is really supportive and like Tessa said, they're just so so good with women's football. It's really nice to see a club that kind of values it as much as the men and kind of work hard to make sure everyone's aware of what's going on.
Do either of you have any future ambitions in the sport of the world game?
Well, I think I'm just kind of focusing on this year and working as hard as I can, but if possible, I'd love to to see where it takes me and maybe travel with it, but whatever is possible, really.
Yeah, I think I really want to go play in a Spanish speaking country before I retire, I guess. Just because I've played in a Western one, played in Europe, played in Asian one. So I really want to play in a Spanish speaking country. Plus I'm half Spanish, so I would love to just play there and feel my heritage, I guess. So yeah, that's just one of my goals.
And both you mentioned right at the start what position both you play on the field. If you had a preferred position where you like to convince your coaches to put you, where would that be?
I couldn't name any other place other than striker, to be honest. I think I've just loved scoring the goals and kind of putting them away. I honestly wouldn't pick anywhere else to be on the field.
I'm with you, Maya. I could not play anywhere else. I'm a right-footed midfielder.
Yeah.
I could not play in the center of the field anywhere. I'll be the first to admit I am not versatile. I am an outside player.
Yeah, I can't defend very well either. So keep me at the front of the field and I'll
thank you,
do
Michael.
my part there. Yeah.
Now, let's finish on a couple light-hearted questions about your teammates. Firstly, who's the comedian in the team?
Lauren,
I'd say, yeah. I'd also say Zoe Lambie. She's not an intentional comedian, but some of the things she says and does are quite entertaining.
Agreed.
Any good singers and dancers in the team we should know about, or just into their TikToks?
Oh, I'm not sure.
I have no idea. I've never
watched.
Yeah,
I can't say there's any standout for that one.
Any pre-game superstition or ritual by either of you?
I always call my dad, usually before my game, and he always tells me the will to win. That's just one of mine.
I don't really have many superstitions. I kind of just get on with it. I like to kind of like eat similar things before a game, but other than that, breakfast, bacon and eggs, that's pretty much my only pre-game like meal or pre-game thing that I do every time.
Any embarrassing moments by anyone during the preseason on the field, and what was it?
Zoe, she came out with not her jersey on. She had her
like training top with a bib on
before the game. Yeah.
Had to sprint back to the change room and get ready.
Yeah.
That happened last weekend.
Did anyone point that out to her?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
quite a few people noticed and told her to head straight back to the change room.
Oh, now I'm going to finish up with this one last one, which is for everyone that should get involved in the World Games, especially down in the eastern suburbs. How can I go about it? So, what would be your advice to them to go about it?
Volunteer. I feel like all of these clubs need more volunteers, especially East. They need more, just more help, especially with the youngers. Also, come watch more women's games.
Yeah, support, try and I think that's really good. And I think for like younger players, they should just kind of try it out, maybe start young, and if you love it, just keep working at it.
Well, both of you, thank you so much for giving up your time to join us. It's awesome having both of you on the show. Please send our best wishes to your teammates for us. Obviously, round 1 starts this weekend against the minor premiers from last year in Gold Coast, and let's hope you can beat them in round 1 and hopefully set yourselves on your way to hopefully a final spot come towards the end of the year.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
No worries. And of course, that's my and Tessa there joins from the Eastern Suburbs Football Club. Of course, as I mentioned, first game's against Gold Coast United this weekend, and we'll put all the details up on how you can support the Mighty Tigers in 2021, of course, on their way to hopefully a premiership at the end of the season. There's more on the Smash Sports Show right after this. Don't go away here on the 10th year celebration.